Hi, welcome to the Explainer series for Quant. Here we'll be using very simple concepts and apply it to CAT level problems and solve them as easily as possible. In this session, we will look at quadratic inequalities. These are the most important part of inequalities when it comes to the CAT and other management exams. You don't study anything else in inequalities, that's okay. Learn quadratic inequalities because every single CAT paper in the last 3 to 4 years basically has at least one question on quadratic inequality. I would suggest pause this video, look at the questions. The link is available in the description of this video. Once you have tried these sets on your own, then proceed with the rest of this session. Please do share this with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examinations. You can like and follow us on Facebook as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel to get live event and notifications for all the updates regarding CAT and other MBA entrance examination. You can also look at our WhatsApp as well as Telegram lists. You can join over there and we will update you. We don't spam over there. If you want, you can enroll for our Quant and LRDI courses. These are the best and the most comprehensive courses available in the market. Quadratic inequalities are a favorite of the CAT examination. They are also very prominent in XAT and other management tests as well. Every single slot in the last 3 to 4 CAT papers has at least one, maybe even two questions on quadratic inequalities, either a direct or an indirect question. The basic theory behind a quadratic inequality is pretty straightforward. Now, if you extend a quadratic equation, now for quadratic equation, the general roots are this: x is equal to minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. If you extend it to a quadratic function, right, there are 6 scenarios possible depending on the value of a and the value of the discriminant, right? If a, which is the coefficient of x square, is positive, the curve will open upwards, right? So you'll have a minimum value for the curve, right? If a is negative, the curve will open downwards, right? And there'll be a maximum value of this function, right? If the discriminant is positive, right, you will have two distinct roots, right? If the discriminant is exactly 0, you will have repeated roots, right? And if the discriminant is less than 0, the roots are complex, therefore the curve will not touch the x-axis, right? So this is the broad idea. Now, the minimum value here or the maximum value of the function basically can be found very easily. It will happen at minus b by 2a, right? You can prove it using differentiation. If you differentiate this equation, you'll find the minima, the local minima or the maxima. An easier way to identify it is basically if you look at the roots, right? The roots are symmetrical, right? The curve is symmetrical, right? So the midpoint of or the average of the roots is going to be basically your minimum value or the maximum value, right? Sum of the roots is minus b by a. So average will be minus b by a divided by 2, which is minus b by 2a. So at x is equal to minus b by 2a, you'll get the minimum or the maximum, and substitute this value into the function. You'll get the minimum value of the function or the maximum value of this function. This is a very powerful tool. If you can identify a scenario like this, you can just need to apply this. Your job will be done. Let's go ahead and apply these to past paper. Let's start with something which is pretty straightforward. This is from IIFT 2013. If x is real, what is the smallest value of this expression? Again, because a is greater than 0, you will have a curve which will open upwards. So you'll have a minimum value of this expression. That will happen at x is equal to minus of minus 4 divided by 2 into 3. I'm just applying this relation directly, minus b by 2a, right? This will give you 4 by 6 or 2 by 3. So when x is equal to 2 by 3, you will get the minimum value of this expression, right? Substitute x is equal to 2 by 3, so it will be 3 into 2 by 3 square will be 4 by 9 minus 4 into 2 by 3 plus 7, right? So this is 3. So if you take 3 as an LCM, that will be 4 minus 8 plus 21. That is 17 by 3. None of the options satisfy. The next question is from ZAT 2017. Right? It says if x and y are real numbers, then the least possible value of this expression will be how much? Right? Now it is a quadratic in both y as well as x. Right? Now for y, it's pretty easy to find. If you put y is equal to 3, right, this value will become 0. Right? It cannot fall below 0 because it's a square. Right? It's a perfect square. It cannot fall below 0. But x is composed of two expressions. Right? So we'll have to resolve this. Right, if you resolve this, if you expand this, you'll get 4 times x square minus 4x plus 4 minus 2 times x square minus 6x plus 9. Rewrite this, you'll get 4x square minus 16x plus 16 minus 2x square plus 12x minus 18. This goes to 2x square, then minus 4x minus 2. Right? What will be the minimum value of this? This will happen at x is equal to minus of minus 4 divided by 2 into 2, which is basically equal to 1. Right? So at x is equal to 1, you'll get the minimum value of the x expression. At y is equal to 3, you'll get the minimum value of the y part. Right? So if you combine both of them, if you put x is equal to 1, y is equal to 3, you'll get the minimum value of this expression. Y is equal to 3, you get 0. If you put x is equal to 1, you'll get 4 into 1 square minus 2 into minus 2 square. Right? So that will give you 4 minus 8, which is minus 4. Option B will be your correct choice. If you identify the pattern, basically under 2 minutes to solve a ZAT question, which is basically priceless for the ZAT examination. Now, questions 3 and 4 are a double question. This basically came up in CAT 2007. Let's see what this says. Mr. David manufactures and sells a single product at a fixed price in a niche market. The selling price of each unit is 30 rupees. On the other hand, the cost in rupees of producing X units is 240 plus BX square plus BX plus CX square, where B and C are some constants. David noticed that doubling the daily production from 20 to 40 increases the production cost by 66.67%. However, an increase in daily production from 40 to 60 results in an increase of only 50% in the daily production cost. Assume that the demand is unlimited and Mr. David can sell as much as he can produce. His objective is to maximize the profit. Your question is, how many units should David produce daily? Basically to maximize the profit. And what will be the maximum daily profit that Mr. David can realize from this business? Right. So we will have the sales. Selling price of one item is 30. So sales of X items will be 30X. Right. Your cost function is given to you. Right. So 240 plus CX square plus BX. Right. We also know at 20, 40 and 60, how much is the change? Right. So let me just rewrite this. Right. I've written this down here neatly. Now to go from 20 to 40, the cost increases by 66.67%. 66.67% is 2 by 3 extra. So 2 by 3 plus 1, it will be 5 by 3. So cost at 40 will be 5 by 3 of cost at 20. Similarly, to go from 40 to 60, the cost increases by 50% plus half. So which means it will become 3 by 2 of the previous cost. So C60 will be 3 by 2 of C40. Right. Again, we can resolve this. If you resolve this, I have done this already. You'll get C is equal to 1 by 10 and B will be 10 if you put it back. Right. Now I know the value of B and C already. So I substituted it back into the relation. So you'll get the profit. You'll get the profit relationship. Profit relationship is minus X square by 10 plus 20x minus 240. So the curve, because a is negative, will open like this. You'll need to reach the high point of the curve. This will be the profit curve, right? So this is what you need to figure out. What is the value? Once you reach this stage, these two questions can be solved in about a minute's time, right? To reach from this stage to where we have reached will take you another 2.5, 3 minutes. So in about 4.5, 5 minutes, you get two questions pretty easily. Let's solve them, right? Maximum point will be at minus b upon 2a. So it will be minus of 20 divided by 2 into minus 1 by 10. Right, minus goes out. This will be 10. 10 goes in the numerator. 10 into 10 will be 100. Right, so when you produce 100 units, you'll get the maximum profit, option B. And what is the value of the maximum profit? Substitute x is equal to 100 here. If you put x is equal to 100 here, 100 square is 10,000. 10,000 divided by 10 is 1,000 minus 1,000 plus 20 into 100 is 2,000 minus 240. Right, 2,000 minus 1,000 is 1,000. 1,000 minus 240 is 760. Option D is your correct choice. As I said, very powerful equation. If you identify it, job done. The last one is from CAT 2018, slot 2. It's a slightly different take on the quadratic function, related concept, but not identical. It says if a and b are integers, says that 2x square minus ax plus 2 is greater than 0 and x square minus bx plus 8 is greater than or equal to 0 for all real numbers x, then the largest possible value of twice a minus 6b is how much? Right. So let's analyze this curve as such. This one says that the value of the quadratic function has to be always more than 0. When will this happen? If you go back to the curve again, right, it will be always more than 0 when the discriminant is less than 0, which means the roots are complex. They are not real, right? That's why it will never touch the x-axis, right? So we know for the first one, the discriminant has to be less than 0. The second one is this value has to be greater than or equal to 0. Again, if you look at the curve, it will be greater than or equal to 0 when the discriminant can be 0 is less than 0 or equal to 0. If the discriminant is greater than 0, then it will touch the x-axis in 2 points, right? So you cannot say that the value of the curve is non-negative always, right? This one tells you that the value of this expression is non-negative always. Value of this expression is non-negative always. That will happen only when discriminant is less than or equal to 0. So that basically takes care of what we need to do. Now, when will the discriminant of the first one be less than 0? When a square minus 4 into 2 into 2 is less than 0, or a square is less than 16, which means a lies between 4 and minus 4. That's the only way, right? A square is less than 16. That will happen when a lies between 4 and minus 4. What about the second one? The second one, the discriminant will be less than or equal to 0 when b square minus 4 into 8 is less than equal to 0, or b square is less than equal to 32, or b, now a and b are integers, so b lies between 6 and minus 6. Right? This will be the range for B. Question is, what is the largest possible value of 2a minus 6b? Right? So I need to increase the value of a as much as possible and reduce the value of 6b. When it gets subtracted, you'll have the least reduction over here. So increase the value of a. Highest possible value of a is 3. Right? So 3 into 2, that will give you 6. 2a, maximum value is 6. Lowest value of 6b, smallest value will be minus 5. 6b will be minus 30. Minus 6b will be plus 30. Right? So 6 plus 30, 36 is your correct answer. As we mentioned earlier, quadratic functions are perhaps the most important concept when it comes to inequalities and optimization. Right, very frequent in CAT and other management examinations. A favorite of the CAT paper. At least 2 or 3 questions come up in every single CAT from this area. Please don't neglect it. That completes this particular session. If you liked it, please do share it with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examination. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow our Facebook page. The links for our course are available on the description to this video. Till we meet again the next time, goodbye and all the best.